You ever stumble across a story that just makes you sit back and go, wow? Because that's exactly what happened when I read this article posted by SiliconValley.com through Apple News about Napa Valley College and their massive 5-acre solar field. And yes, that's massive. We're talking 5,600 panels, dual axis tracking, over a megawatt of power. And in 2006, that was cutting edge. This thing was basically a celebrity. They were on magazine covers. They had Korean TV crews fly out to film it. Elected officials were calling it a model for the future. It was a big deal. One of the top 5 largest solar arrays in the entire United States at the time. Back then, solar wasn't sitting on every winery roof or every warehouse in the Central Valley. A project that looked like the future. In 2006, when 2 students flipped a symbolic switch during the ribbon cutting ceremony, people really thought that switch was energizing a whole new era. Fast forward nearly 20 years, and today, that system sits dead. Overgrown, rusting, frozen in place, literally stuck facing one direction because the tracking motors don't even move anymore. The once glamorous solar field is now just a weed-covered memorial to good intentions and a messy reminder of how fast this industry can change if you're not prepared to keep up. Now, you might expect the panels to degrade over time. Everything does. But this story is something else. Let's go back and unpack what actually happened. The whole project started from a bond measure back in 2002, a big $133.8 million package that included modernizing the campus and installing a large photovoltaic system. The college hired PowerLight, which back then was one of the most respected solar companies in the world. This was a full turnkey build, engineering, procurement, construction, everything. Once commissioned, the college bought it outright. And for a while, things were great. They were producing about 1.2 megawatts of power, roughly 40% of the school's demand. They were saving hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. The technology looked promising and everyone thought, this is it. This is the future of clean energy. Then reality kicked in. By 2013, they were still hitting decent performance, but not long after that, the slow decline began. By 2017, the system was producing about 1/3 of what it used to. Maintenance costs climbed, and in 2018, SunPower, who had acquired PowerLight years earlier, found a wiring fault that cost the college $160,000 to repair. Not ideal, but also not uncommon in early utility scale systems. But what happens next is where this story becomes an example of why energy products need, let's call it, stewardship. You can't just put solar in the ground and walk away from it for 30 years. And back then, companies were out there selling the fantasy that you could. SunPower, the company responsible for maintenance, eventually went bankrupt in 2024. And this is where the record gets messy. The college says the solar panels started leaking and posed a fire hazard. They tried to get repairs, but since SunPower had folded, there was nobody left to service the system. And because this thing used early 2000s large central inverter architecture, a single point of failure could, and did, cripple the whole site. Microinverters and distributed string architecture weren't standard back then. If your big 250 kilowatt or 500 kilowatt inverter was down, the entire solar farm was just down. And here's the kicker. The timelines don't match up. Documentation shows Napa Valley College was still paying SunPower for maintenance in early 2021. Yet statements made later suggest that the system was already unsafe by then. And in 2020 board meeting, officials were still referring to the solar field as operational and supplementing campus energy. So somewhere between 2020 and 2022, the system essentially flatlined, but nobody can actually pinpoint to an exact date. Meanwhile, PG&E rates continued rising, maintenance issues stacked up, and the college ended up installing a Bloom Energy natural gas fuel cell in 2021, which ironically ended up replacing the solar altogether. Once the fuel cell came online, the solar field was officially decommissioned. But again, no one can say exactly when that decision was made, who made it, and why there wasn't more coordinated planning here. And here's the ironic part. A college built a huge solar project to reduce resilience on fossil fuels. And 20 years later, they were running on natural gas. But the article's interviews reveal something deeper. Something that honestly I can see every single week in this industry. Public institutions, schools, districts, cities are expected to go solar, but they're not given the staff, the expertise, or the resources to maintain a multi-million-dollar energy asset for decades. Technology changes, manufacturers go bankrupt, inverters fail, policies shift, utilities rewrite the rules, and these institutions just don't have the bandwidth to track all that. One of the consultants interviewed said there may be 100 people who understand this stuff. Napa Valley College is not in the 100. And he's right. Not because they're incompetent, but because they're educators, not utility engineers. Their facilities managers are dealing with ant infestations one minute and a solar inverter failure the next. It's not sustainable. The other big issue, the early solar industry made big promises. We've all heard it, 25 to 30-year lifespan. But a lot of those numbers were aspirational, not based on real long-term data. And in 2006, a 15-year lifespan for a system like that wasn't bad at all. It's just that nobody said that at the time. Everyone sold the dream. Now, here's where the story gets even more ironic. Panel costs today are down 90% from where they were in 2006. Efficiency is massively higher, and the college could easily generate 3 to 4 times the amount of power from the same 5 acres today. And the industry has completely moved away from the fragile architecture that killed this system. In other words, the college installed solar too early, got locked into outdated technology, and didn't have the structures in place to adapt. And because of PG&E's rules, because of maintenance costs, because of bankruptcy chaos, and the projects just simply died. Now, it just sits abandoned, overgrown, frozen in place like a steel and glass time capsule. But here's the ultimate takeaway. If Napa Valley College had the right support, the right consultants, the right second opinion maintenance reviews, the right long-term strategy, they might have saved this system. They might have repowered it. They could have upgraded it. They could have replaced the failing inverters with modular modern ones. They could have re-energized it into a 2025 system instead of letting a 2006 system limp along until it collapsed. And that's why diverse consultants matter. That's why the people who are in that 100 who understand this stuff matter, because solar isn't plug and play. Not for campuses, not for cities, not for hospitals, not for wineries, not for anyone spending millions of dollars and expecting decades of performance. This isn't a story about solar failing. This is a story about solar evolving faster than some institutions were prepared for. And it's a reminder that if you're going to invest in renewable energy, you need a long-term plan, not just a ribbon cutting. I'm Dale with Renewable Innovations. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video if it found it helpful. And I will see you in the next one.